Hello, my name is Hakon, and welcome back, all you fabulous fighting fantasy aficionados, friends, family, and other random passers-by, for another episode of Rebel Planet Fighting Fantasy Gamebook number 18. And if you watched last time, there was quite a bit. We ended on a cliffhanger because I got to the end of the second planet and you get arrested. If you choose to reveal what you know about the rebels on that planet, you on Radix is the name of the planet. You are given the choice of of two doors, and one of them will lead to certain death. The other will lead to a gladiatorial combat that is probable death. And if you don't tell them what you know, you will die. So this, of course, is a very good save game point, and of course, if I make the wrong choice now, I will start over again right away from that point. So I'm carrying forward my game from last time. I've got the same character. I've got a tidy new character sheet, though. Just wrote down the stuff that I had, removed all the combats, and I've got my maps, of course, and I'm ready to go. So without too much further ado, I will get started. Oh, by the way, if you want to know the background, what happened before, etc., etc., I'm not going to repeat that in this episode. You will have to watch the previous episode if you want to know what's going on. So this is going to be a pure continuation of the previous my previous week's playthrough. So there we go. Let's get started. Ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, here we are on my desk. Got my new character sheet, got my old maps, got my old book, got my dice, pens, paper, all the things you need to have a great time. Well, at least when it comes to playing game books all by yourself. Right, so I'm at the end here of the planet Radix. I have been given, I'll just repeat the last paragraph I was at. So you get arrested. And this is what happens, and you choose to reveal what you know about the rebels on this planet, which isn't much, by the way. All you know is that Professor Zacharias is the one who's the leader of the rebels. That's it. After racking your conscience, you decide that your mission is more important than any single cell of the underground, and that you can tell them enough to keep them happy without giving everything away. You do so. The following day, having checked your information, the Commandant returns. "All right, Earthling," he says. "Your sentence is commuted from certain death to probable death." He laughs mockingly and takes you under guard to a room which has two doors leading from it. One of these doors leads to instant death. The other leads to a gladiatorial ring. Such fights are one of our amusements. We often send criminals through one of the or the other of the doors. The guards are watching you closely, and you realize that they will kill you if you show the slightest resistance. If you partake of our contest and defeat the two beasts we will send against you, we will escort you back to your spaceship. After the information you have given us, it would be better for you not to fall into the hands of your fellow humans, don't you think? Now make your choice. Which door? So will you go through the right-hand door or the left-hand one? So 50-50 chance of dying, pretty much, it looks like. Again, this is actually the second time there's a big chance of dying. Left or right? I'm going to go with the right. And of course, I have saved my game now. I'm not going to start over from the very beginning if this fails. That is the wrong door. As the door shuts behind you, horror grips your guts. Bright light springs out from hidden lamps and reveals that you are in a room of distorting mirrors. Even the door behind you is mirrored. A laser beam shoots out from one side and bounces off a mirror at an unpredictable angle. Well, if it's a mirror, it's a very predictable angle, to be honest, but yeah. In an instant, you are surrounded by laser beams, forming a crazy random pattern of burning... It's not random, it's mirrors. Random pattern of burning light. One blasts your leg from its socket, another takes 3 fingers of your left hand, then another strikes, and another. Yeah, well, you wouldn't have time to think about it if the mirrors were sort of angled in a way that the beam would just keep going different places because it's at the speed of light, and you would be dead within an instant, pretty much. Anyway, that is the wrong choice. So the end insta-death. And that means the correct choice is the other one. So we are going left. I don't think there were any clues to which door was the right one there. I didn't spot any. You open the door, shivering with anticipation. Or is it trepidation? Ooh, fancy. It leads to a dark, gloomy corridor. The guard allows you one last despairing glance back into the well-lit room before shoving you through the entrance and slamming the door. Darkness descends, but it is not total. Somewhere far ahead there is a source of light. You clutch at straws. Surely this is a hopeful sign. Surely they wouldn't bother with light if this was the passage of doom. Well, now we know that they gave you even more light in the passage of doom because the laser is light, isn't it? Too much light, I think, in that case. Then a little voice inside you interrupts your wishful thinking. Oh, yes, they would. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Oh, yes, they would. They need to see clear the bodies away. Yes, that is true. They need to see to clear the bodies away. Yeah, so time passes. So far, so good. You're still alive, but then you've only moved a few centimeters from the door. Perhaps you should just stay here, where at least you haven't been killed yet. Is that what you choose to do? Or will you continue down the corridor? Okay, so you get an option to stay at the door. That's a bit bizarre in a way. I think I will keep moving though. So for wait, 71, continue. I mean, if you wait, I suppose trouble will come to you. So, and it could be worse trouble. So I'm just going to continue. I think that's certainly what you're intended to do here. You move on down the corridor. The gloom becomes less and less, and you search the place thoroughly as you walk, but there are no escape routes. Well, why would there be? Eventually you reach a sturdy door with a large grille. Will you try to barge the door down or wait to see what may happen? Okay, so we have... I presume somebody will open the door for me or something. I don't know. 360, barge, or 301, wait. In this case, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to just rush in. You wait for hours. As dusk descends, how do we know? Is it outside? A grinning alien face appears at the high grille. So, he says, you have chosen to try your skill at our gladiatorial games. This is the door into the arena. Now you must spend the night here. In the morning the games will be assembled. Gain 1 luck point for choosing the right door. Right. So, +1 luck. And I do have, my luck is down to 9, so it's up to 10, which is good. I'll probably need some luck in these battles. Turn to 349. Okay, so 349. I presume if you just barge in, maybe you have to fight something prematurely or something like that. I don't know. In the morning you wake up only slightly refreshed from a sleep troubled with nightmares. You are woken by a guard who gives you a bowl of slops. We don't want you too weak for the games, he says. You may restore 3 stamina points, and that is actually me back to max 20 points. For the rest and food. When the guard returns, will you attack him or let him lead you away? I don't see any point in attacking him. So let's see. So I'm going to let him lead me away. So attack 206. It's just doing his job, isn't he? I mean, it's a guard. It's not the court. It's not the one who decided that I would be sentenced to death. Although actually it's a hive mind, isn't it? So technically, one could argue that he is part of the hive mind that decided that I should be sentenced to death, and therefore he is also as guilty of a miscarriage of justice as anyone else. That doesn't give me the right to be judge and jury and executor. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to not attack him. I'm going to let him lead me away. So lead. 231. The guard pauses by the door to the arena. The two beasts you have to face, he tells you, are first a Laphadorm and then a Scabrock. Scabrock. Both are bred especially for the games. The Laphadorm is a new breed and I know nothing about it. So see, it's actually trying to help you now. The Laphadorm, and I know, but the Scabrock, though powerful, has one weakness. It is easily distracted. It won't fall for this trick twice, but you can distract it once and get in a free attack. Before you can thank him and ask his reasons for telling you this, he opens the door and urges you through, having given you a sword for the contest. Gain 1 luck. Again, so my luck is now back to the max. Indeed. If you survive to fight the Scabrock, turn to 262 when you're instructed to do so. Now turn to 313. Okay, so I'll make a note of that. So I am going to go to Scabrock. I want to go to 262, which gives me an advantage, I guess, in that battle. First, I'm going to 313. Okay, so I'm going to move on down here now. 313. So I can keep my map of this planet in one place as far as possible. Right, so 313. You have no choice. You enter the arena. The door swings shut behind you. You are overwhelmed by the dazzling sunlight, the roar of the crowd, and the strange smell of the pale blue Rhodesian sand on the ground. You assess your predicament. High barriers surround the arena. The ground is covered with sand. This is it then. You will have no help apart from yourself. And just as a little aside there, arena actually means sand. So arena is where there is sand for fighting. So, right. A sudden hush fills the arena. A door on the other side opens, and out comes the most hideous beast you have ever seen or imagined. A Laphadorm, bred for grotesqueness as well as fighting ability. And there is no picture. I suppose it's too grotesque to depict, I guess. It is covered in red scales. It has a retractable neck like a tortoise. Its head is like a lion's, roughly, but the tongues which dart from its slavering jaws remind you more of a multitude of snakes. Resolve your battle. That sounds like an interesting beast to depict, actually. Laphadorm. It actually isn't as powerful as I would have expected at this point, but there you go. Maybe the Scabrock is worse. And if you kill the guard, maybe you actually reduce your chances against the Scabrock so much as well that you might lose. Anyway, because after all this sort of working up to this sort of big gladiatorial fight, I was expecting something with more than 7 skill, to be honest. Right, so I've got skill 10, stamina 20. I've got this guy, the Laphadorm's got 7 and 12. So I've got a 3-point stamina advantage. No, I don't have a 3-point skill advantage. Let's get started. So he rolls a 4, I roll a 5. It's down to 10. I'm not using any luck now. He rolls 11. I roll 7. That is him hitting me. He rolls a 2. I roll a 4. It's down to 8. I roll a 9. No, he rolled a 9. I roll 11. He always rolls first. That is in accordance with the rules, by the way. In the rules, it says that your opponent is always the one who rolls first. 9 and 6, that is a draw. 11 and 8, that is a draw. Ooh. 6 and 9, that is not a draw. Well, it's a drawing of blood, I guess. 6 and 6. Yeah, this is going the right way. And finally, I'm rolling my pen here, pencil. That's how excited I am. 7 and 5. So that is just it. I did manage to kill him. I lost 2 stamina points. That is not bad. Let's just put the stats in here on my map. 7, 12. And then we move on to 106, except now maybe we're supposed to go to 262. I'll just have a look at that, and this is where we are going now. Uh, 106. Yes, here we are. The crowd goes wild with delighted approval, but you scarcely have time to draw breath before the gateway gapes again, and the scabbrook appears. It goes on 6 legs, each of which is tipped with long claws. Its tough hide is covered with short, spiky hair. If you know the scabbrook's weakness, turn to the relevant reference, otherwise just fight it. And also not as strong as I had expected, to be honest. I was expecting something really powerful now, like in 9. But I suppose this part of the game now, the big challenge was actually selecting the right door. So if you got a 50-50 chance of dying just selecting the door, it would be a little bit unfair if you also had a 50-50 chance of dying for the battles, because it looks like these can't be avoided. If they can, I don't know how, but it doesn't seem like that is possible at all. And then we go to 54, but there is also, I'll just dot that in now, like so, or like so really, and that is 262, which is for knowing the weakness of the scabbrook. So here it says, good. You have remembered the scabbrook's weakness. At some point during the fight, you will be able to distract its attention, perhaps by throwing sand across its field of vision. Test your luck. If you are lucky, turn to 341. If you're unlucky, turn to 133. Okay, so to test luck. 341 lucky, or 133 unlucky. Okay. I roll 7, which is lucky, and my luck goes down to 10. And I go to 341. Let's see what it says there. When you distract the scabbrook, you manage to hit a particularly vulnerable spot and injure the monster in such a way that you reduce its skill by 1 point and its stamina by 2 points. In other words, you can fight it as follows. Scabbrook, skill 7, stamina 12. That is very, very, very good. That's a big difference. So 7, 12. Okay. So, and then if you win, go to 54 again. So I'm going to put an arrow there as well. So that's a winning point. Okay, so that means we have now an 8. No, sorry. A 7, 12 again, and I've got 18 stamina. I've got 3 skill point advantage. Let's roll. So 7 and 9. I get first blood. Snake eyes for the monster. And I roll 5. He's down to 8. 10. 7. That is a draw, but it wouldn't have been if I hadn't got that piece of information and got lucky as well. 6. 9. 12. He rolls 12. I roll 7, so he hits me, bites me, claws me, whatever he does. 6 and 4, that's me hitting him. And 9, he's down to 2, and the final coup de grace. 6, 8, ding dong, the beast is dead. That was quite satisfying. It wasn't the battles themselves, but there was such a nice build-up to the battles that the actual battles themselves gained more meaning. And that is something that you don't usually see so much in a fighting fantasy book. Normally, you sort of, oh, you go open the door, oh, you have to fight someone because there's somebody there you have to fight, or, oh, like that grenade, I just want to kill the god first, kind of thing. And this one, there was such a nice build up to it, build up of tension and excitement and trepidation, and over several paragraphs that sort of, and even though the stats of the beasts you were fighting were a little bit underwhelming, it was still really exciting, actually, just to sort of get that build up, and sort of it feels more meaningful when you win the battles, even though they weren't that hard. So well done, I think, Mr. Writer. I keep forgetting his name now. This is by Robin Waterfield for that build up. That's very good, actually. Still not sure about the 50-50 chance of dying just before, but yeah. The crowd is on its feet. The applause is thunderous. Antennae flash in approval as the corpse, or there is actually a picture of the Scabrock there. As the corpse of the Scabrock is dragged away, leaving a slimy trail of green blood behind it. An alien whom you recognize as the prison commandant enters the arena and congratulates you. Okay, I'll try again. The prison commandant enters the arena and congratulates you. Congratulate is not a tongue twister, is it? Once he has taken away your sword. You have performed well and given pleasure to our people, Earthling, he says, and we will keep our side of the bargain. You may return to your ship. Turn to 191. Okay, so 191. Is a long paragraph. En route for Halmuris, you may restore your stamina by half as much again as your current stamina score. So my stamina is then full, rounding odd numbers down. And remembering that you cannot exceed your initial score. Yeah. You review your problems you face. You have no equipment or weapon, though you still have your money, and there is a spare anti-grav pack on board your ship. Halmuris is a bleak planet. Spare anti-grav pack. Is that going to be relevant, I wonder? Halmuris is a bleak planet. The terrain is wild and mountainous, and some of the mountains are active volcanoes. It is a planet which is still going through the last violent stages of creation. It is very hot in the daytime and fatally freezing at night, when the hot bluish sun sinks below the horizon and the 3 moons become visible. The moons cause vast tides on the planet. If you have to spend a night out on Halmuris, you would be well advised to choose somewhere warm and far away from water. The inhabitants live in small settlements, which were originally scientific research establishments, and are clustered quite close together, with a spaceport on the high plateau region in the south of the planet. This is to avoid the huge tides which ravage the lower-lying areas, which are punctuated by sudden, inhospitable crags. The computer feeds you all these data and also informs you that the alien inhabitants are mostly Central Arcadians, who naturally took over the scientific facilities of the planet. All you know about the underground leader is that he or she is an assistant at the agricultural research settlement. That's more than I knew for the last planet. When you land on Halmuris, you find that your limbs feel heavy. The higher gravity of this planet means that for the duration of your stay here, you must lose 1 skill point. This makes finding a weapon even more vital. There are none of the customs and immigration hassles that you expected. Instead, you are simply ordered to remain in the spaceport area until your ship is unloaded and your passenger is ready to embark late the next day. I had a passenger, I'd forgotten about that. It is now mid-afternoon, with 4 hours to go until sunset. Will you first investigate the possibility of getting hold of a sword, or of learning the whereabouts of the agricultural station? So, first of all, new page of maps. I'll just move these old maps out of the way now. So this is 191. That's our starting point for Halmuris. So this is Halmuris. Actually, I'm just outside of shot there. And this is my map page 4 for FF18, just so I can find it again later, because all my maps for all the different playthroughs are just in the big folder. Right. And for the duration of my stay here, I'll just put that in brackets now. My skill is technically 9. Or for practically, yeah. Okay, so I've got 2 options. Now I'm a bit puzzled sometimes because I'm so good at unarmed combat that in most cases I would actually be better off without a sword, as far as I understand it, because then you have a chance of instantly killing someone. And you don't get a penalty for skill for fighting unarmed, which is a bit bizarre. Okay. 273 sword or 173 agriculturalist station. Right. Okay, so what to do next? I'll just check that I'm not overexposed now. It is quite bright, isn't it? I'll just do like so, just so it's not too bright. I think that is better. I can move my lamp a little bit like so. Okay, right. I think we're good to go there. It's a bit hard to tell on the screen of my camera whether I'm overexposed or not. It looks all right, but it's hard to tell 100% for sure. Right, so I want to try looking for a sword or go to the agricultural station. I think I want to look for a sword first of all. It seems to be sort of leading me in that direction, even though I feel I don't need one. Of the humans on the base, some are wearing grey uniforms, some blue. Would you ask someone in grey or in blue? That's a question you don't get every day, is it? Grey or blue? So 197 grey or 217 blue. I'm thinking the blue ones, or will you try to get a sword off an Arcadian? Oh, so yeah, I missed that. Was another option there. 116 sword off. Okay. Now I'm a bit curious about the grey and the blue. Now I'm thinking the sun is blue, which means that maybe blue is a more high status color. Also, it's more colorful than the grey. Grey is a cheaper color. I don't know. Let's go with the blues. The blues. You pick your man carefully, choosing someone who looks tough and self-sufficient. At least he leaves the group he was with and makes off across a lobby. That's being tough and self-sufficient, isn't it? You catch him up after a few meters and come straight to the point. Whatever you do, don't show surprise on your face, you say. I need a sword. Can you help me? He looks you up and down and then says, No, I can't. But I know who can, if anyone can. Come with me. Will you go with him or leave him and try elsewhere for a sword? I'm going to go with him. Indeed. So, okay. So 137 or 399. So follow or elsewhere. Very good descriptions I put on my map, isn't it? And also I can't usually read them anyway. Anyway, 399. Yes, almost victory, isn't it? 399. You follow him down countless passageways, up and down flights of stairs, and finally across rooftops, until you come to a secluded air conditioning control room on top of the western part of the spaceport buildings. This is all very mysterious. Will you allow your companion to knock on the door, or will you put an end to this risky business? So we've got 2 options. 3, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5. Knock or end. So I'm thinking, in for a penny, in for a pound. I've got this far. I'm going to see where he is taking me. So 145. Inside, you are led past stacks of crates and boxes up to a heavy-jowled human who is sitting behind a desk. "What is going on here?" he demands, with scarcely a glance up from his papers. If you killed a human on the way here, turn to 28. Otherwise, turn to 187. That's interesting. You could actually have got here after killing someone, which I find interesting. So, but I did not kill anyone. I'm not a murderer, or am I? Yes, well, my character is a murderer, as this is well established, of course. Murdering for a grenade. I mean, it was an Arcadian, of course. It's not a human being, but still, he was a nice Arcadian. You don't kill nice Arcadians. And also that commandant as well, or the guy who was it the commandant, the one who was actually giving me the hints on the Scabrock as well. There are nice people here, it seems, and they don't behave quite the way that you would expect them to behave if they had a hive mind. I'm a bit sort of it feels a bit inconsistent now, because you would expect, if there was a hive mind, that every Arcadian would be on the same page vis-a-vis humans. They would treat them all the same way, fairly well, not fair necessarily, but they would treat them at least consistently, because they all actually have the same mind, and they would lose their mind if they lost the hive mind connection. But they do seem to have individual personalities and individual ways of doing things, which contradicts what it says in the beginning. So yeah. So even though I like the build up to the gladiatorial combats, I don't like that little logical inconsistency there. But yeah, never mind. Suspension of disbelief. Okay. Right, so 28 or 187. Killed, question mark, or not. So I didn't kill anyone. 187 is my paragraph, and I'll stick to it. Okay. Will you ask if he can supply you with a pass for the shuttle service to the agricultural station, or with a sword? So apparently you can get to this guy in both of these threads from the beginning there, which is also interesting. I would ask about, I mean, I'm here to ask about the sword, but yeah, I'm interested that you can actually ask about both things. So 385. So maybe you were given a chance to kill someone going the other path as well. I don't know. So 385, agricultural station or sword. I would have thought the agricultural station was more important, but I'm going to save my game there, of course, and I'm going to pick a sword, hoping that I can also pick the agricultural station pass. Let's see, 286. Yes, I can sell you a sword, he replies. It'll cost you 1,000 credits. Do you have enough money? If you do, and you are prepared to pay this exorbitant price, do so and then turn to 84. If you cannot or will not pay him, you will have to do a job for him instead. But that is a lot of money. Okay. I think I'll have a look and see what job he's got for me, actually. I think that'll be interesting either way. Because that's like a side quest, of course, it adds flavor to the game. Even if you go the shortest path, you miss out on so much. If paying 1,000 gold is the shortest path, you actually miss out on the side quest. So I'm going to say 84, so that's 1,000 credits sword, or 238 do job. So I'm going to do a job for him instead. 238, thank you very much. The job turns out to be stealing some of the luxury goods from your own cargo. This confirms your suspicion that you are dealing with a black marketeer. The first journey is easy, since the Arcadian guards find nothing odd in your visiting your own spaceship, but you have to make 3 more journeys before the black marketeer is satisfied. Test your luck 3 times. Whoa. test luck 3 times. So now you know the price of testing your luck 3 times is 1,000 credits. That is the value of 3 luck tests, which means 1 luck test is worth 333 credits on the black market. Okay, test luck 3 times. If at any time you're unlucky, turn to 165. If you are always lucky, turn to 96. Okay, so 96 and 165. So unlucky is 165 and always lucky is 96. Okay, let's try this now. My luck is 10. I roll 10. I'm lucky once. Now it gets harder. My luck is 9. 7. I'm still lucky. Lucky twice. Third time. I roll 6. My luck is now 7. And I'm lucky for the 3rd time. Okay, so I think it may have been worth paying 1,000 just to keep your luck, actually, but we'll see. Not been here before. Right, so I'm going to 96. I'm lucky 3 times. Let's see what happens. The black marketeer is well pleased with your work. You have made him a tidy profit. You decide that it is safe to ask about a sword. No problem, he says. I managed to get hold of a batch a couple of weeks ago. Because you have worked for me, I'll let you have it for only 200 credits. He sends his man, the only other person in the room now, to get it. When you have it safely in your hands, you pay him and turn to go. But what about the ticket for the agricultural station? So let's see. So I'm going down there now, 84, and so that's 200. So that's 200. Okay. So I'm going to pay 200 for a sword. So I've got a sword is actually my only item now because everything else was taken from me during the trial, of course. So now we've got 1,205 credits left in my money belt. 84. Oh. You turn away, only to find your way barred by the black marketeer's man. Just before you go, says the oily voice of the black marketeer behind you. Tell me what you're up to. I may want to be cut in. This treachery makes you angry, but anger lends speed to your reactions. You cut down the man at the door before he has time to do more than twitch and spin to face the black marketeer. He moves fast for a heavy man. Black marketeer, skill 6, stamina 10. During the fight, a crate is knocked over and falls into the air conditioning unit, which sparks and then catches fire. By the time your fight is over, the fire is blazing. If you win, turn to 112. Okay. So, which I suppose is a way to make sure that you don't get your money back, I guess. So, 610, I've got a 3 skill point advantage because remember I've got 1 less skill on this high gravity planet. So he rolls a 7, I roll a 5. He rolls 6, I roll a 7. He rolls 8, I roll 9. He rolls 8, I roll 2. Which means I'm down to... Oh, I didn't update my thing, so I'm at 18 stamina. He rolls 2, I roll 6. And finally, perhaps, le coup de grâce. He rolls 6, I roll 10, and he is dead as a dodo. Or as a doornail, or something like that. Or a coffin nail. Right. I win, and I go to 112. I'll put that over here on my map. And let's see, 112. I almost forgot to check my camera there. I've still got time left on it. The fire is preventing you from making what could have been a very profitable search. You have time to grab only 1 object. Roll 1 die. If the number is even, turn to... Okay, so 1d6. And then we got even and odd. So 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, and 2, 5, 3. Even and odd. Interestingly, in Norway, odd is a name. It means arrow, actually, or arrow spear, I think, actually. No, not arrow, spear. Or spear tip. or arrow tip. And even is a name. And also, it's not an unusual combination to have both of them as a double barrel name, so Odd Even. So that means you have people in Norway called Odd Even, well, boys, it's boys' names, Odd Even, which, of course, in English becomes Odd Even, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Also, in the same vein, porridge, if you think about it, is poor, rich, porridge, porridge. Yeah, just putting it out there. I think those things are very fascinating. Okay, Odd Even, yes, that could be someone's name. Right. So I'm rolling a die. Almost got sidetracked there. Okay, I roll a 3. That's odd. That's very odd indeed. I got a 253. The object you grabbed was a jetpack. That sounds useful, but it feels so light that it may have no fuel left in it. No, you take it anyway. The fire is bound to attract unwelcome attention. You decide to leave the spaceport as soon as possible. So no agricultural shuttle pass for me. So I'll have to get to the agricultural station in some other way, apparently. So 336. So odd, you get a jetpack, and then you go to 336. I presume that is the same regardless of what you pick up. And then I'll just put the jetpack on my. Let's remove those things. I'll put the button and the rope in brackets now, just in case I got them back after my gladiatorial fight, but I didn't. So, right. So 336 is next on my schedule. Right. So, you return to the main part of the spaceport to get your bearings. The freezing night is not far off. How will you get off the base? It is surrounded by a high perimeter wire fence, and both its main entrances to the west and east are guarded. If you have a jetpack, turn to 128. If you have a pair of wire cutters, turn to 393. And this is interesting because wire cutters is something you can buy on the first planet. Does this mean that there is a way to get off the second planet without being arrested? Because that would be the only way that you can actually bring your wire cutters with you. I find that very interesting because that means there must be something I missed on the second planet, which may be relevant in future playthroughs. But, okay. For the moment, what I've got to deal with is, of course, what I've got right now, and that's a jetpack. So we have 1, 2, 8. 8. Jetpack. Without fuel, though. 393. It may have just enough to get a burst, just to jump over a fence, though. Wire cutters. And I'll just put a little sort of mark on the wire cutters to remember that I just have to find out, perhaps in later playthroughs, whether those are possible to keep with you, and also, of course, I would buy them when given the chance earlier, perhaps. If you have neither of these, it could happen, of course, go to 2. It is, of course, possible that you picked up wire cutters on the in the previous paragraph as well. By the way, I forgot about that. I'm not going to look that up, actually. I'll keep that as a surprise for the future. Okay. So I've got a jetpack, and I turn to 128. Will you risk using the jetpack despite its lack of fuel to propel you over the fence? If so, turn to 57. I might actually fall to my death once I get to the top. It looks climbable, that fence, by the way. That's a very nice picture. I really like. Oh, there's some very nice illustrations in this book, I must say. So jetpack 57, or not, turns 2. I'm gonna try it. Jetpack. You find a secluded part of the perimeter. Slip the harness of the small jetpack over your shoulders and press the ignition button. It coughs and fails, but it starts on the second attempt and lifts you easily over the 10-meter fence before falling again. You fall heavily to the ground. Test your luck. So we have lucky or unlucky, like so. And of course, my luck is low now because of my incident with the black market cheer. 359, 304. So lucky. Unlucky could probably mean breaking something and then that being the end of the game. I rolled 7. My luck is 7. I'm very good with luck rolls usually, aren't I? Okay. 359, I am lucky. I'm actually up all night to be lucky sometimes. Your fall only winds you. Discard the now useless piece of equipment. Right, jetpack, gone. Okay. And turn to 30. Okay, so 30, I'll put that up there. 3, 0. There we are. You are on the eastern side of the spaceport. There are various paths which you could take. Will you go east, north, or south? Okay, maybe I'll do what I did with the. I mean, this could be a sort of a maze kind of landscape here. So I will do a separate map for this. So I'm going to let's see. So I'm going to east, north, and south are the directions. So not west. So if I start my map of that around here. So if I do, so that's just an asterisk there. So 3, 0, and I can go north, east, south, like so. Just in case this is a big part of the map and that will completely mess up my main map, which can happen. So 2, 4, 5, east, north, 3, 4, 2, or south, 1, 8, 1. I'm going to start by going straight east, actually. 2, 4, 5. Right, you know that your first priority is to find somewhere sheltered to spend the night. You are following a path through rough terrain with a valley sloping down to your left and rocky outcrops up the caves to your right. Caves? That sounds like a nice sheltered place for some beasts to live so they can eat you in the middle of the night. Ooh. Excuse me. Okay. I must just do something just a moment because I can't see right now the remaining time on my video. So I need to change my display settings. Let's see. Like so. Because if I can't see the remaining time, it also doesn't tell me how much is left before my memory card is full. So there we have it. Okay. After a while, you come across 2 caves to your right, which look as though that they are deep enough to give you shelter. The right-hand one is approached by a smooth gully, which wends its way to the valley below. The left-hand one is higher up, and its entrance is partially hidden by a spiky cactus-like plant. Will you enter the right-hand cave or the left-hand cave? I suppose a cactus can get in my way, but then it can also protect me more during the night. So, Bit more hazardous to get there, perhaps, but maybe it is more protected. So I'm going to go with the left-hand one. So 371, right, and 294 left. So 294. I'm going to go with 294. More luck. As you approach the mouth of the cave, you stumble on a loose rock. Test your luck. 6. Still lucky. That was my luck. It's down to 5. Where's my potion of fortune when you need one? If you're lucky, turn to 193. Okay, so luck. And then we've got 193, lucky, or 143, lucky. Okay, lucky again. It's going to run out one of these days. You narrowly miss impaling yourself on one of the vicious-looking spikes of the plant. You pick yourself up and enter the gloom of the cave. Turn to 100. So that means I could actually have finished myself off impaled on a cactus, possibly. 100. That'd have been quite a colourful way to die, I suppose. As you go further into the cave, you notice a smell of sulfur, or something like it. Could be bear fart. I don't know. It's not too strong, however, and you take it as a good sign. If there is a slight vent to the turbulent volcanic interior of the planet, then the cave should stay above freezing all night. No, that's a good point. You find a reasonably comfortable spot and settle down. If you have some food... Is it possible to get food somewhere? I haven't seen any food for sale that I haven't eaten right away. Turn to 73, otherwise turn to 18. Okay, so food. Question mark. So that is 73 or 18. Okay, so food, yes or no. I'll just put also on my map here, FF18, map number 5, Halmuris part 2. Okay, I don't have any food, so I'm going to starve a little bit during the night. I'm probably going to lose stamina or something. Having no food, your body becomes more vulnerable to the cold, and you can hardly sleep at all for trying to keep warm. Gain only 1 stamina point. At least I got 1, which I don't need because my stamina is... No, hang on, I do need 1 because I lost 1 earlier, so I'm up to 19. In the morning, you follow a path heading roughly northeast until it divides. Will you branch right or left? Okay, so plus 1 stamina there, and then I'm going northeast. I'm just going to do that this way then. Branch right over here, or left, which is over here. So 296 or 171. So I'm going to branch left. That is sort of more northerly, I suppose, and do 171. You walk on for about an hour and then stop to rest and shelter from the heat. Gain 1 stamina point. While gazing idly into the sky, you notice a large bird coming in to land on the rock face above you. Okay. What strikes you in particular is that the bird is carrying something which flashes as it catches the sunlight. Interesting. Do you want to investigate this further or carry on with your journey? I do want to investigate that further, thank you very much. So if I do like so. So 147, carry on. Or 383, investigate. So I'm going to investigate. The cliff should not be difficult to climb. The freezing cold has broken it up into larger and smaller ledges, which will afford handholds and stepping places. After about 20 minutes, you can hear the bird nearby and you circle round so that you can approach it from above. The nest is on a fairly wide ledge. The bird itself is a Halmurian rock buzzard, whose fluffy appearance belies its dangerous nature. It looks like a large ball of stuffed feathers. As protection against the cold, it has developed the habit of burying its head and neck within its copious body feathers until it looks like nothing so much as a large cuddly hedgehog, with a tail and folded wings. If you jump onto the ledge, you will have to fight it. If this is what you choose, is this what you choose to do, or does its size and the precariousness of your situation make you change your mind and return to the path? So you do have a chance to turn back now. But I think this might be worth it, so I'm going to worth the risk. 298. So fight. So 298. I'm going to fight it. You leap down onto the ledge, away from the nest, so as to have a secure landing. Your precipitous arrival awakens the bird, which instinctively attacks you. So here we are, rock buzzard. If you win without being wounded, turn to 40. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest there. I'm just going to do the battle. So 6-8. So I've got a 3 skill point advantage with my reduced skill for the gravity of this planet. So he rolls a 12. I roll a 9. That is a draw. He rolls an 8. I roll an 8. He's down to 6. He rolls a 10. I roll a 10. He's down to 4. He rolls a 6. I roll a 9. He's down to 2. And finally, perhaps he rolls a 4 and I roll a 6 and he is dead. He did not injure me. So that has a bearing on what happens next. So let's see. So fighting is 6-8, but there is some special rules there. If you win without being wounded by its beak or talons, turn to 40. However, if you are wounded once, this means that the bird has got past your flashing sword, and its weight will knock you off the ledge to die on the path below. Well, good thing I didn't read that, because I would have had, would have been a bit more nervous about the fight there, and I would have lost probably. So that was really close. So 40. That is quite a dangerous battle, actually. It's 40. And also one, if you know about that if you have luck, I suppose, which I don't, you would use luck to make that be over in 2 attacks rather than 4. Okay, so death if wounded once. I'll put that. Right, so I'm going to go to 40. Curiously, there is no immediate sign of the shining object the bird was carrying when you first spotted it. Then you notice 2 deep fissures in the ledge into which you could insert your hand. Will you try the left fissure or the right one? Alternatively, you could decide that anything could be living in such cracks and that it would be best to return to the path without taking any further risks. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound again, I think. Right, so we got either go back there or we've got 2 options there, fissure 1 and 2, or left and right rather. So 14 left, 355. 355. Right, I'm going to go with the left one. Wish me luck. You are bitten by a saw-toothed rat. The teeth of this unpleasant creature are designed to give an excellent grip on its victim. In this case, 2 of your fingers. You only succeed in dislodging the little horror by withdrawing your hand and breaking the creature's back on the rock. Roll 1 die. Okay. So this may not have been the best choice of the fissures. So 1d6. So there we have it. So 92 even and 3, 3, 1. odd. Even. Okay. I roll a 4, that is even, and I go to 92, 92, 92. Yes, that's legible-ish. It is your fighting arm that has been injured. Reduce your stamina by 2 points and your skill by 1. If you have not yet done so, you may try the other crack by turning to 355. Right, so my stamina is now, no skill, is down to normally 9, but now 8. And stamina is down to 16 is the correct one, yeah. If you have not done so, you may try the other crack by turning to 355. I will do the other crack too, because if there is something here, now I have earned it. Let's just make a note on my map now. So even was, let's see, -1 skill. I suppose that means odd is actually the better roll there. -2 stamina. Or you can go try the other crack, or return to the path below to continue your journey, which now is paragraph 10 and not 147, which is also interesting, because that means something different happens if once you've done that. Okay, so continue, I'll just call that. Okay, so I'm going to try the other fissure. 355. Yeah, that's not my accent. No, I just okay. The crack is deep and narrow, and you cannot reach too far. The strength of the bird, which you already knew from your fight with it, is further proved by the size of the objects you find. Smaller things have presumably fallen into the inaccessible depths of the fissure. Apart from some useless chunks of metal and a broken spy missile, you find a staff with 7 strips of different metals coiled around its wooden stem, a casket containing 180 credits, and a mind probe. The probe will fit into your antigrav pack and you put the money in your money belt, but if you take the staff, it will make your descent from the cliff more risky, since you will have to carry it by hand. You could just truck it down and just follow. Even more alarming is the fact that a faint power seems to be suggesting that you take the staff. You cannot tell whether the power is good or evil, but you are able to resist it if you want to. Ooh. I like this. Fascinating. Note down on your equipment list what you take. So it is sort of saying, yeah, you have free will. Take me. Yes, you really have free will. Take me. Okay. Right. So I am going to. I've got a mind probe. And 180 credits, so I'm up to now 1,385. And the staff. Okay. Should I take the staff? Yes, I should take the staff. Okay, I'm going to take the staff. I'm just too curious. Okay. Right, so that is the correct fissure once you're there. And then still, it is now 10 to go onwards. Let's see. I may have to roll for... I hope I don't have to roll for luck again to get down with the staff, because then I'll be in trouble. If you're carrying a staff with you, turn to 49. I could have just said the staff now, because that is the previous paragraph. Oh, actually, no, you wouldn't have known about it if you came from the other one, I suppose. A staff. Okay, fair enough. Turn to 49. Otherwise, turn to 147. So we have 49 staff and 147 new. So staff 49. If you are bitten by a saw-toothed rat, turn to 98. Otherwise, turn to 232. I'm not liking where this is going now. Just makes it sound like I've done all the wrong things. Okay, so 98 or 2, 3, 2. Okay. Rat, bite. No. Okay, not. I'll put not. Okay. I did get bitten by a sawtoothed rat. I'm going to go to 98. Test your luck. If you're lucky, you fall down the last bit of the cliff with 2 stamina points and bruises. Okay. Luck is 5. I roll 9. I'm not lucky. My luck goes down to 4. Let's see. So now it's test. Let's see. Test luck. If you fall, if you're lucky, you fall down the last bit of the cliff and you break the end of the staff, but you keep the rest with you, having risked so much to bring it down. Then turn to 147 to continue your journey. Okay. Or if you are unlucky, you fall from a great height and are smashed on the path below. It doesn't say here, but your adventure ends here. So let's see. Unlucky. Let's see. Unlucky. The end. So let's see. Let's test luck there. And then it's lucky. Right, that was quite a fascinating little journey, I think, into this book. Now, a lot of exciting things happening on Halmuris, I must say, and also very exciting the gladiatorial combat in the beginning, which I really liked. So, what is there to say about this now? I think that I'm really looking forward to the next time. And what I will do, I will start from the same save game point as I had as I started today, so that I will not start from the beginning again, unless something shows up that shows me I did something wrong earlier on, that will not allow me to finish the game now. I will start from the same place. So next time I will start. Actually, I will not start from the same place. I will start on Halmuris rather. So I got as I arrive on Halmuris, and I'm given the choice whether to look for a sword or to look for the way to the agricultural station. That's where I will start next time. And then I will just refer back to what happened earlier if I need to. So that is going to be my course of action for my next playthrough, which will be probably next week. Could be this week, but most likely next week. And I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed this playing session, and I'm looking forward to the next one. If you like this video, if you watched the whole way through, please like, share, comment, subscribe, join me on Patreon, all those things if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you next time with more fighting fantasy fun as we play Rebel Planet again next time as well for the... what time are we on now? 5, 6... I don't know. I've lost count. So my next time is going to be my next time. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.